that was close. I got my own shotgun, buddy. Spawn an enemy that will hunt you in waves. We're going to build us a little mission, and we're going to go to this location, and we're going to place down a player. And we're going to face him this direction. Then we're going to right click him and edit his loadout. And then I'm going to go down to load, and I'm going to choose a loadout that I have set up for this. And this will be our loadout. Alright, that sets up our player. Next, we're going to go to triggers, and we're going to place down a trigger without a size. We're going to edit the trigger, and under the text box, we're going to put the word hunters. Next, we're going to go to the activation box and choose radio alpha. Now that's all we have to do with this trigger for now, so just hit OK. Next, we're going to go to attributes at the top left, and we're going to go to general. And then we're going to go down to where it says independence allegiance. To blue 4 is going to be combative. So basically they're going to be our enemy. That's all we need to do for that. And then we'll go back to attributes and then down to multiplayer. We're going to go to respawn. Choose respawn on custom position. And we're going to go to respawn delay and set this for 2 seconds. And hit OK. One more thing to do to enable the respawn to work is we're going to actually go to the map. I'm going to do this the old school way. And we're going to go to markers, and I'm going to choose a start marker icon. And I'm going to put that right about here. And I'm going to edit the marker. And I'm going to name this respawn _ west. And we're going to change the color to blue since we're blue 4. And that's it. Alright, so respawn _ west. So that sets up our respawn. Next, we're going to save our mission. So we're going to go to the save icon at the top left. And we're going to choose Altus. And then we're going to name this mission Spawn Hunter _ Waves. Alright, that's our mission. Next, we're going to go to the scenario tab at the top left, and then down to where it says open scenario folder. Now in our scenario folder, spawn hunter waves.altus, and what we're going to do is we're going to start up a notepad document. We're going to hit enter to go 1 space down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to type out a code. So here's the code. _group1 space equals space left square bracket get marker pos or position space quote spawn 1 end quote comma space resistance and then comma, and then hit enter and go 1 line down. Then you're going to put left square bracket quote end quote comma quote end quote, and then 2 right square brackets, and hit space, and then call space BIS _ FNC _ spawn group, 1 word, and then semicolon. Remember, this S and the G in the spawn group are capitalized. Hit enter, and we're going to put a 3rd line of code. So left square brackets _group1 right square bracket space call space RYD _ CH _ Herne, and then semicolon. Then we're going to hit enter again and go 1 line down, and we're going to put a hint. So we're going to type hint space quote a new hunter wave has spawned exclamation point end quote and then semicolon. Let's review this code. So group 1 is the infantry group that's going to spawn, and they're going to spawn at spawn 1, which will be a marker on the map that we got to place. So we still got to do that yet. The group is going to be from the resistance side, and in the next line down, these are the class names of this group, which we got to get yet. This group is going to be using the SpawnGroup function, which will basically spawn the group. And then the next line of code is group 1, once they're spawned, will use the Herne Hunter AI script, which is what this whole code is for. The last line is a hint, which you don't have to do, but it just gives you feedback. So basically, when this group spawns, you'll see this message at the top right of the screen. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the mission, and we're going to place down a squad and acquire their class names. All right, we're going to move out a little bit, and we're going to go to the resistance or independent tab, and we're going to choose the F2 groups, and we're going to choose a group of looters, and we're going to choose a criminal gang to start with. So while they're highlighted, as you can see on the left, you're going to right click them, and you're going to go to where it says log and then log classes to clipboard. All right, we did that. Now that they're logged, we can get rid of them. We're going to go back into our code on our notepad document and add these class names that we just acquired. Back in our mission folder and back to our code, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the second line of code and highlight the box in between the square brackets, and we're going to press Control V. What that's going to do is that's going to paste the class names of the units that we just acquired. What we need to do now is add quotes before and after each one of these in order for the code to work, because this is what's called an array. And then you need to have a comma after each class name to separate them. We could just leave it like that. We're going to copy this code. I'm going to press Control C. We're going to go back into the mission and add this code to the trigger. All right, back in the mission, let's go to the trigger, edit the trigger, and then in the on activation box, we're going to press Control V, and that will paste the code, and we'll just hit OK. And next, what we need to do is we actually need to put down a marker, because remember in the code there was spawn 1. So we're going to go to the map, and we're going to scroll out, and we're going to go to the end here, and we're going to go to markers, and we're going to just place a flag marker, and we're going to place that marker right about here. We're going to edit it and name it, give it a variable name of spawn 1. And then you hit OK. We're going to go back to the mission folder, and we're going to add some scripts. All right, back in our mission folder, and minimize that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add some scripts. All right, so I just added 4 scripts. Herne is the Hunter AI script. We're not going to go into that. I have other videos on it. In the init.sqf, if we open that up, this first line of code here basically initializes the Herne script. This other code I added, this will basically delete dead bodies in 60 seconds, which is what this is. These other 2 scripts, since I'm going to be playing a multiplayer mission, if I get killed, then these 2 scripts will allow me to respawn with the same loadout that I had, and that's all that will do. Next, let's go back into the mission and spawn some enemy and see what they do. All right, back in the mission, and what we're going to do now is we're going to spawn the squad and see what they do. We're going to set up a server, so we're going to go to play and then play in multiplayer. And here's our server, and here we are in the mission. In order to spawn the squad, we have to go to the radio menu, so hit 0, and then we'll go down to radio, and you'll see the word hunters, which is the title of for the code for the trigger. So we'll hit that, and a hint will pop up. It says a new hunter wave has spawned. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to spectator, and you can see these guys over here. And because the Herne script is installed, these guys are going to basically hunt me. Except for that guy, or those 2. I don't know why they're not moving, but whatever. So using the Herne Hunter AI script, you need to use waypoints because they will seek you out. Alright, let's get out of spectator. Alright, let's go back to the editor. So the question now is, how do we make Hunter AI waves? So this idea of Hunter AI waves, so now that we can spawn a squad, what we're going to do is we're going to create another spawn marker. So we're going to click on this, press Control C, and we're going to paste it right about here. So this is going to be a secondary squad that will spawn, and we're going to edit it, and we're going to name it Spawn 2. And that's it. That's all we need to do for that marker. Next, we're going to go to our trigger, and we're going to copy the trigger, press Control C. We're going to go over here, and we're going to put the trigger right about here, and we're going to expand it. We're going to edit the trigger, and instead of the activation, we're going to put independent present, and we can remove that. Actually, we can leave that. This will be wave 1, and this group that's going to spawn is going to be the same group that spawned already, which will be group 1. Alright, so this is wave 1. Wave 2 is we're going to click on this, press Control C, and we're going to put these guys in the middle. And it's still going to be, this will be wave 2. And we're going to go to group 1 here and change it to group 2. And then we're going to change this to Spawn 2. And then we're going to go down and change where it says group 1 to group 2. And then hit OK. The idea here is when the first squad that spawns and they move to go hunt you, they're going to end up walking through this trigger and spawning another group that will spawn right here. These guys will then come, and while this first group is moving, as soon as they hit this trigger, it's going to spawn a second wave, another group, which will spawn here. So these guys will come, and this is only going to be triggered once. This is only going to be triggered once. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a third wave. So we're going to click on this one, press Control C, and press Control V, and put this wave right about here. And we're going to edit this one. I'm going to name this wave 3, and then we're going to leave this as it is, group 2. So that's something that you could do. So let's save this, and let's test this mission out. Go to 0, go to radio, and initiate this whole function, and just hit hunters. A new hunter wave has spawned. So we're going to go to spectator real quick, and as you can see the icons that show up, we're going to let these guys go to the secondary wave, which we're not going to be able to see on the map, but it's right around here. So once they go through this second wave, another squad's going to spawn. Which just did. Alright, so let's take these guys out. And this would be more efficient than using waypoints. I mean, it depends what you're trying to accomplish. You see the body's deleting that. That's that code in the INIT. I got my own shotgun, buddy. There's a guy right here. See his gun sticking out. Should have waited till he's... both at once. Ooh, that was close. Alright, let's go back to the editor. I want to show you something else that you could do with this. So if you go back to your triggers, so we'll put a triangle, make it red. That means the enemy has passed through their trigger. We'll just copy that. That's just, if you look at your map, you could kind of see where the enemy's going to be at. But basically, what we're going to do is we'll edit the trigger and make it repeatable. Because if you only want one wave, then you do what I just did, where the trigger only fires once. So each trigger you could set the repeatable. We'll move this guy down just a little bit. And move this guy down just a little bit. Just like that. Alright, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to do. And that's it. So we'll save that and we'll play. Alright, now if we go to the map, scroll in, you can see where the triggers are going to be. So we'll go to 0, hit the radio, spawn our group, and we'll go to spectator and let's check them out. Alright, so once these guys move, which they're down here, they're already approaching the first trigger, which spawn another group, and once they reach that second trigger, the second group over here is going to spawn, which I'll let them do that. Whole mess of guys. See, there you go. Wow, look at all these guys. Alright, we better take them out. So like I said, you could use this instead of waypoints. See that? I timed that. Ooh. Good thing I got respawn set up. Lot of enemy. I know it's a little overkill by having it repeatable, but that's... Alright guys, that's it. That was chaos. As you can see, setting it to repeatable is insane. It's too much and it will bog down your system. So you could do one waves, or you could even just use one trigger with, you know, a repeatable wave. Because understand that every time you spawn one squad and they go through one trigger, that trigger is going to spawn another squad. So each trigger is going to spawn a new squad. So that's basically the idea. Spawn continuous hunter waves, and that's how that works. Alright guys, hope you like that. Hope you find this useful, and for more codes and scripts, take a look at this playlist.